Okay. I just won't be able to read my screen.
I'll do what I do.
What do you do?
Look at this. I can see the screen just fine. Welcome to the Nick's Boots from Start to Finish podcast. I'm Shiler Mao, joined by Lucas Grassberger and Kelsey Lursback. We are going to talk about the winners of the second round of the Contender Championship. We had some really awesome heritage entries this time. A nice prompt, kind of telling how the boots impacted your life and the story behind them, and how they kind of intertwine. And yeah, we're here to kind of announce the winners and say thank you for participating. We had kind of a crazy amount of views on a lot of these posts, so that was very cool to see. And yeah, let's get to it. Lucas, who is number one?
Yeah, so like you said, ton of upvotes this time, ton of great posts. I think 4 out of 5, probably all 5 at this point, got over 200 upvotes, which I thought was awesome.
Yeah, that was cool.
They will all, I think they're in like our top all-time posts right now. But number one, after a lot of discussion going back and forth, it was really kind of like, I feel like we could have given everyone first place in the top 5.
Yeah, there's some great stories in there.
But number one ended up going to Scuffed Up Kicks for his post, Sustainability by Versatility. I think one of the really nice things about this post is it echoed kind of what we've found from customers, with like that customer survey and stuff, that some of the biggest reasons people buy our boots are because, they are a pair of footwear you can rely on. They're long lasting. This person said, as a civil engineer, they're passionate about sustainable design, life cycle costs, and minimizing long-term harm, which was one thing that got them interested in higher end boots. And they wear these boots for everything. And they're just a classic. It's a Parkhurst Last. It's a Wicket and Craig, tan oil Latigo, V-bar sole. Like this is...
I like the 8-inch height too.
Yeah, 8-inch height, really good height. This is kind of what I think of when I think of a heritage boot.
Yeah, and this was had the best photos of all the submissions, which really, I think, kind of put it over the top.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think also the message around versatility is important, right? Like I feel like I'll wear a lot of, obviously we make the hardcore work boots, but more and more it seems like people are buying, like V-bars, mini vibes, other soles to kind of have like a good purchase on, rough terrain when they go hiking, but also they can kind of clean up and look nice when they're going out to dinner or something like that. So this, I think, really kind of epitomized a lot of the things we've seen about the business over the last bit, and also just the photography was excellent. Great story with kind of emphasizing the versatility of the boots, and then just a really kind of clean, classic build. So this won number one in the votes. So congratulations to Scuffed Up Kicks. You'll be getting a wonderful prize package, and we will be highlighting that here shortly. But yeah, thank you for participating, and thanks for taking such great photography.
Yeah,
that really helped you. Okay, number two.
Number 2 was OK Display 7374, inclusion and affirmation in a boot. These boots were like showstoppers. I don't think I've ever seen boots like this.
Yeah.
Even our boots.
Yep.
So they're a pair of 12-inch Packers, Cypress 8. They're used for daily wear as well as actually, riding horses, which I thought was really cool. Packers have a certain style to them. I know a lot of people get them just because they have a certain look to them.
Yep.
But it's cool to see that they're actually wearing them to ride horses. And then, it's got white stitching. There's some modifications made to the false tongue. And then the customer also made their own modifications to them in the form of these...
stitched flower patterns.
Yeah, flower patterns.
Yeah. Very, very interesting boots. The Packer has become more popular recently, which has been cool to see. And this is, I believe, Cypress Color 8, which is also a very, has been pretty popular leather and done very well. The story behind the boots, inclusion, affirmation, acceptance. This person's in a kind of marginalized position, but potentially, and met somebody here that made them feel a part of a group. I think it was like a physical fitness thing or something like that.
I think it was a rowing. I think it was a rowing group.
But cool to see that as part of the community, and the fact that it resulted in a very, very interesting and cool boot, I think is awesome. And so number two winner, good photography, interesting boot. I think the only reason it got number 2 instead of number 1 was really the photography of the first winner. Nice and moody, and like
photos.
You could definitely use that in social media and that sort of thing. But number 2, a wonderful boot and a wonderful story, and happy to have you as a customer, and thank you for participating. So congratulations to OK Display 7374, and we'll be in touch with your great price package, and we'll be announcing that shortly. Okay, number 3.
Number 3 was Undeveloped Moose 222. Girls wear PNW boots too. So just like the last post, this was another post about just, not being able to find quality footwear for them. We see this a lot more often now, which I think is really cool, especially on our Reddit page. For a long time, we've been battling this, like, Nick's boots are just for men, just for work boots. And I feel like we put a lot of effort into, like, having a lot of options for, all different walks of life.
I believe we're the only ones that list a concurrent women's size as well.
Yeah, along the length drop down. So it's really cool to see more and more of these posts. This is, it's a stay-at-home mom, Urban Loggers, classic 6-inch rough out boot.
Stay at home, but doesn't sound like she's home very much.
No,
right?
yeah. So lots of adventuring, lots of walking around
errands,
in these boots. But, it's funny, a boot that is traditionally like a very rugged, it's a short logger boot. But in the photos, I think they did a, good job of wearing them with their different outfits. I like the Darn Tough socks in there with the pop of color. But yeah, it's really just cool to see them being used by all sorts of different people.
Yeah, I think it's cool to see, like, because if you look at like our website analytics, like, it's overwhelmingly male, right? And most of our customers are male. But I think it's cool to see other groups that, maybe not traditionally associated with our customer base kind of discovering us and, learning a little bit more about it and, taking the plunge and kind of jumping into the next experience. So congratulations to Undeveloped Moose 222. We really appreciate, I think a 67 Urban Logger too is an expert choice. So,
absolutely. It's a great boot. It's funny, and it's something I've noticed recently. Undeveloped Moose is actually the wife of Keith Tangelo, who was one of the top contenders in the work one.
The dancing?
No. I believe Keith Tangelo had new brown waxed flesh boots. He was the one where we were like, if you just mentioned what you did and like what your job was, you probably would have.
I see. Okay. So redemption.
Redemption. And I'm seeing more and more husband-wife duos in our Reddit group. I think there's like 3 or 4 now where they both have an account and they both post regularly.
Interesting.
Which I think is really cool.
Yeah, that is awesome. Congratulations again. We'll be in touch with the prize pack, and thank you so much for participating and sharing your experience with us.
Yeah.
All right, number 4.
Number 4, Low Basis 1931.
This one.
This is the classic.
Yeah.
Definitely not, maybe not what you would picture in terms of the boot model when you think heritage boots.
Well, it's like we call it heritage, but I don't know. Heritage means a lot of different things to a lot of different people.
Right. Yeah. And like, how do you, I feel like there's nothing more true to the statement of like the heritage of footwear than the idea of a parent buying their child or, now adult child, their first pair of boots and them having them for 20 plus years and maybe, them eventually having a kid and doing the same thing. And that like tradition of passing down boots. to your kid. So this person, 20 plus years, same boots. In 2004, their dad took them to Spokane, to Nick's to get fitted for their first pair of boots. And they've been wearing them nearly every day for the past 20 plus years.
Yeah, this is an amazing story, right? It's like these boots have been a part of this guy's life for like half of it. I mean, that's kind of amazing. And all the experiences and jobs and places he's lived, and these boots have kind of been along the way. So yeah, I don't know. I was kind of blown away by this one. This was super cool. 3 resoles, 2 repairs, 1 rebuild. So definitely kind of keeping these things going. Looks like he did also buy a steel toe boot from us some time ago. But yeah, no, this was a wonderful story. And so Low Basis 1931, congratulations. Thank you for being a part of the community. Thank you for being a customer for so long. And, we're glad we can kind of have that impact on your life and be a part of it like that. So congratulations. We'll be in touch. And thanks again. Okay, number 5.
Murray Grande. Miracle might be too strong of a word. This one hits me a little bit harder than the others. I've spent a lot of time in the showroom, when I first started doing fitting customers one-on-one. And I don't think there's anything more rewarding than when a customer walks in with a medical need that we can meet, a medical brace.
Because we can't always, right?
Yeah. There's a lot of things we can't do. And, I think, we're typically pretty hesitant to throw custom fitting at it if it's just you want something, made for you. But when it's something where it's like, I have a medical brace and I can't find footwear, or I have a prosthetic and I can't find footwear, there's just nothing more rewarding than being able to fit that person and actually get them boots that they can wear.
Yeah.
I've had a few customers in a similar case as this guy here. So he was in an accident, messed up his ankle, didn't think he'd be going back to work, ended up with a custom orthotic brace, and then came into our shop to get fit for some boots to fit over his brace so that he could maybe start going back to work. And we were able to customize the uppers, fit around the brace, and it worked great. And now he's back to his career doing, going back to his livelihood.
Yeah, switch is this freight trains. It's a railroad man. Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, this was it's always wild when this happens. This is always like kind of a scary thing for us because like we're not a medical company,
right?
But I am really glad that this one worked out and we were able to kind of, have an impact like this on his life. Yeah. Murray Grande, thank you so much for sharing that and, for kind of letting us be a part of your story there. And congratulations on the win. So those are the 5 winners. We did also want to highlight some runners up who obviously will not be getting like the exact prize package, but we'll be sending you something. So like some small goods and that sort of thing. But yeah, we've got Bama Boy in Texas. Well, Bama Boy in TX. This was engineer boots, some shorties, which I think look really nice. I think another railroad worker, perhaps.
Possibly. I noticed the photos on railroad. I don't know if that was
I don't know if that was
the engineer boots vibes or.
But yeah, he switched from sneakers to boots and just basically enjoyed a lot more comfort and really helped him experience life a little bit better, getting something that basically is more satisfying, more comfortable, more supportive. I think it's kind of interesting. Like he says that his story began with a wallet, and the wallet, he thought he got a wallet from his dad. It was nice leather, but it started falling apart. And then spurred him to learn about leather and getting into that. And I think if you're kind of drawn into that, then we can be pretty appealing, right? We spend a lot of time on that. And got some engineers that I think are really beautiful and kind of more supportive, help us back, et cetera. So thank you to Bama Boy in Texas for being a part of that. We'll be sending you something here shortly. We'll be in touch. Who's some of the other ones, Lucas?
Another one is the Unpacked Cat. Love that username. It's actually, a newer customer, first MTO pair. So they've only had them for a few weeks now.
These are the olives.
Olive bison, honey, Vibram sole. I think, I'll be honest, I'm not a huge fan of the olive bison.
It's a polarizing look for sure.
But for some reason, honey vibram with like green leathers always works.
It mellows it out a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's a nice, it's almost tonal, which I think is nice. But yeah, this is
some really nice photos.
It's one of the better looking olive bisons that I see.
Yeah.
So congratulations. Thanks for being a part of that. Someone who got really into footwear and ended up here. So that's kind of cool, right? Asking a lot of questions. And when you're doing a ton of research about what shoes to get and that leads you to us, I think that's very flattering. So we appreciate kind of being a part of that journey.
Yeah. And then I think another of the mentions would be Lab Affectionate, which a pair of boots I have looked at many, many times. And because they're used so much that I had no idea they were this vibrant cobalt blue originally.
They've faded into like a really pretty navy sort of. They're a little lighter, but yeah, I don't know. They look good now. I mean, I think they looked good coming off the line, but it's just like, does anybody want very blue boots in your face? Some people do. And those of you who can pull this off, I salute you. But yeah, no, they've mellowed. They look great. And this customer, really also kind of got down the rabbit hole. I think this is a friend of one of our other customers, I think, who participated last year. And so kind of learned about, Nick's from his friend, and says he's really rethought how he looks at footwear. So we're cool to be a part of that transformation, and really appreciate you participating, and congratulations on being mentioned here. We'll be in touch with some nice stuff here. This did not win, but we wanted to highlight it because it did get quite a few votes. This is your boot, Lucas.
Oh, my boot. Yes. Yeah. So, this whole thing coincided with my 5-year anniversary here. So I was in my feels a little bit. I think you mentioned that I did this at like 2 a.m. on a work day.
You did. I noticed that.
But yeah, so I wrote up a little thing about my 5 years here at Nick's, and this is the first pair of Dick's I ever worn. 8-inch Urban Lager, Predator Orange, Honey Vibram Sole, classic. I still throw them on and wear them all the time.
I remember when you got these.
Yeah.
Did you ruin these ones for content?
I didn't, sort of, yes, because I'm a company man. we
Lucas sent these to get resold by one of the popular YouTube guys.
Wyatt.
They
did a great job.
I think they did a great job, but it doesn't always
so these
doesn't always replicate the same functionality you initially had.
Sure.
Let's just put it that way.
So part of the reason I did that was these were my first pair. Right around the time we were going to send these, I actually got the very first Ridgeline prototype. And so I was like, I'm not going to be wearing these hiking anymore. I want to dress these up, and I'm going to wear these Ridgeline prototypes that did not work at all because we ended up changing a lot of stuff about it. But so then we sent it to Wyatt and Dad, and I just told them like, hey, I don't want these to be like my, my shit kickers anymore. Can you make them a little bit nicer? I gave him free reign to do whatever he wants.
No, I think they
came out really, really nice.
Yeah.
They are a really interesting sole. They added a little bit of pop of color with the red. That red line in the heel stack might be part of a little bit of the inspiration when we were talking about Brandel with the brass heel.
I just think that half sole looks crazy.
In these pictures,
what half sole is that?
So it's an old cord sole that he custom cut into a half sole. They are crazy durable, but
they're crazy thick.
Yes, they are.
So that doesn't surprise me.
They are a little slick. I don't know if you remember first trip to New York.
Is that what did it?
Yeah.
So Lucas almost died.
Yeah.
I'm kind of not joking. So like we have these steps going up to the stitch down event.
Concrete steps.
And they are, I don't know if they're to code, to be honest, but they're very narrow and very high. And Lucas somehow saved himself, but he almost tumbled down those whole. Man, that would have been bad.
I slid down the stairs on my knees, and my head almost went into concrete. But I caught myself because I am agile like a cat.
Okay.
Or,
Yeah, right? Kelsey's like, no, you're not.
But no, these, yeah. Despite that one incident, these boots are great. I'll be honest, I don't wear them around the winter time because they don't have as much, tread and grip as some of my other Nicks do. But yeah, they're a nice boot. I think the original style is a great, just all around boot, which I think is an interesting thing. I don't know. Something I've taken for granted just in general with our heritage boots, which a lot of people have kind of pointed out here in their posts, is like the versatility of them. We have our work boots, mostly function built for work.
Yeah.
A lot of our heritage boots, like there's a lot of value to just being able to like grab the same pair of boots no matter where you're going. And you don't have to worry about it. Like I've been thinking about that a lot around now, wintertime, rain and snow. Like I don't have to think about, it's raining outside. Let me grab these boots because I don't want my feet to get wet. Or let me grab these boots because I don't want to, slide around in the snow. It's just grab the same pair no matter where I'm going.
It's true, man. And you save money.
Yeah.
In the long run.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. Thank you, Lucas. Obviously, congratulations on your 5-year anniversary. It's quite an accomplishment.
It's been great.
We thank you for your service and for sharing your story with us. Kelsey, how long have you been here?
3?
It might be 3 years now.
Yeah, I think it's 3.
Yeah, because it was just after the new year.
Okay.
So February-ish. Or March, maybe.
22, maybe? Yeah.
Yeah, it was 22.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's cool. But yeah, everyone who participated, we're eternally grateful. Everyone, obviously, thank you for being a customer as well. And to all of you who were not selected or didn't participate, but are a customer, we appreciate you very much as well. But yeah, so that's going to wrap up the round 2. We've got round 3 coming out here in 2 weeks or so.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be some of the grand prizes. Please stay tuned. We'll release details on that, and that'll kind of wrap up the Contender series for this year. And if you have any suggestions or ways to kind of fine tune this, obviously this is kind of our 2nd year doing it. It's still definitely a work in process. So if you have suggestions, please do let us know. But again, thank you so much for listening. Thank you for being a customer. Thank you for thinking of being a customer, or thank you for just liking boots. We'll talk to you later. Appreciate it.